In der heutigen Folge wartet ein spannendes Interview auf dich mit einem Ayurveda Mediziner, der über 11 Jahre klinische Erfahrung hat und mittlerweile am Ayurveda Tulsi Zentrum in Gurk praktiziert. So schön, dass du da bist. Unbeschwert ernährt ist dein Podcast für ein gutes Bauchgefühl. Hier erfährst du, wie du frei bist von ernährungsbedingten Beschwerden und wie du dein Essen wieder sorgenlos und gedankenfrei genießen kannst. Du erfährst, wie du dein Vertrauen in deinen Körper stärken kannst und lernst, deine Körpersignale einzuschätzen, um dein inneres Gleichgewicht und Wohlbefinden zu finden. Mein Name ist Lena, ich bin Ernährungstherapeutin und Ayurveda Life Coach und ich freue mich sehr, dass du diese Folge heute hörst. Ich freue mich heute, dieses spannende Interview mit dir zu teilen. Das ist das erste Interview, was ich auf Englisch geführt habe, beziehungsweise auch auf Englisch hier zur Verfügung stelle. Ich hoffe, dass es für dich passt, dass du alles gut verstehen kannst. Sehe es mir nach, dass mein Englisch nicht immer korrekt ist. Ich rede oft ohne nachzudenken und genauso auch, wenn ich Englisch rede und deshalb blubbert es da grammatikalisch auch ganz oft mal falsch raus. Aber Dr. Siddik, mit dem ich das Interview geführt habe, hat mich gut verstanden und ich auch ihn und ich hoffe, so geht es dir auch beim Hören, denn das Interview beinhaltet einiges Spannendes. Wir sprechen über die meisten Ungleichgewichte, die er in seiner ayurvedischen Praxis sieht. Wir reden darüber, was aus ayurvedischer Sicht die Hauptursache auch ist von Erkrankungen, warum Öl-Anwendungen im akuten Entzündungsstadium absolut kontraindiziert sind. Wir reden auch darüber, wie du einen Ungleichgewichtszustand bzw. erkennen kannst, ob es eine Entzündung in deinem Körper aktuell gibt, sei es eine akute Entzündung oder eine Silent Inflammation. Dann erfährst du mehr über Probiotika und die Sicht des Ayurveda, auch über die Sicht des Ayurveda zu Veganismus. Wir sprechen über kindliche Intuition und wie man diese schützen kann, ab wann der Ayurveda Kinder behandelt und dann auch nochmal über einige Hörerfragen und zwar über Zöliakie und Endometriose ganz zum Schluss. Ich hoffe, das ist ganz spannend für dich. Ich freue mich, von dir zu lesen, zu hören. Schreib mir auch gerne, wenn du etwas nicht ganz verstanden hast oder wenn du noch Fragen zu dem Interview hast. Und ansonsten wünsche ich dir viel Freude mit dem Interview mit Dr. Siddik. I introduced Dr. Siddik here in the podcast Unbeschwert ernährt. It's a pleasure to talk to you. My first interview in English. I'm looking forward to hear about your way you treat the Ayurvedic style here in the Ayurveda Tulsi in Gurk. And maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit more that we get to know yourself a little bit better.
Yes. Well, I have an experience of 11 years in the field of Ayurveda. I was a clinician in Ayurvedic medicine in India, 11 years. I have worked various parts of India as a Ayurvedic practitioner. And I have a specialization I have a interesting field of Panchakarma. I am specialized in Panchakarma, and also I have a lot of interest in yoga, and I have a lot of clinical experience. Especially the disease which are treatable by Ayurvedic method.
Yes. And now you are here, I think 9 months, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you see a lot of clients here. What are the most symptoms you see clients, or the most imbalances you see in your practitioner work here in Germany?
In Austria, I'm working in Austria, not in Germany. So here, the most of the people having the imbalance of vata and pitta. Most of the clients came here having the same imbalance, like more vata and pitta imbalanced in their body. So, but we got all type of imbalance, like a kapha imbalance, vata imbalance, pitta imbalance, vata kapha imbalance. So that's based on it's individually different for the imbalance. It's based on the food they are taking and the climate they are food and active routine they are doing. Based on that food and routine, the imbalance should be different. So there is no generality in it, but even though if I look on the statistics on my clinical sheets, the guests coming here are more imbalance of vata and pitta.
And which symptoms do they have? Is this a lot symptoms with the gut or migraines, or which symptoms are the most?
The mostly the people having some inflammatory signs. Maybe that may be related with the gut, that may be related with the skin, and sometimes that related with the thyroid, the Shildaruse.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is related with the joints, like arthritis problems. And all the inflammations are, in Ayurvedic perspective, it is a imbalance of pitta. All kind of inflammation and infections are the imbalance of pitta. And also different kind of pain. That's another important symptoms. Some having the hip pain, some having the Rückenschmerzen, the pain related with the lower back, and some having the cervical spondylosis, and some having the lumbar spondylosis, some having sciatic pain, some having the joint pain related with the osteoarthritis, some having the rheumatoid arthritis. These are the common conditions, we got here.
Okay, and do you have an opinion, or from your holistic view, what is the cause of this symptoms here, especially in Austria, for example, or in our culture?
Yes, obviously it's, we can relate it with our diet and daily routines and culture. Especially, according to Ayurvedic view, one of the prime cause of all the disease is, the improper diet habits and improper routine habits. These are the one of the prime important cause, and very rarely we can relate it with some drug induced the side effects of the modern medicine, and also improper usage of some drugs, and also because the antibiotics are not friendly with the gut. Always if you take the antibiotics, some of the beneficial microorganisms in the gut will die. That will eventually you will get low immunity, because that's that microorganisms will help to boost your immunity. So some of the gut flora will go after taking antibiotic courses. So obviously there is the dosha vitiation, the imbalance of dosha due to some of the drug induced, especially from the modern medicine. They are taking the drugs, after that, they have the gut problem. So.
And yesterday we already talked about that it's not, for a pitta imbalance, not the best way to use the probiotics, especially the fermented foods, because of the inflammation. What is your way to treat it, or some general tips? How can I improve my immunity, my gut microbiota, without having the fermented foods?
Without having the fermented food, okay. You can, in an Ayurvedic view, almost all the, cause of diseases is one of the cause of diseases is ama. Ama is the toxins inside your body that is combined with the dosha imbalance that cause inflammation and the problems inside the body. So removing the ama is very, very important from the body. So removing ama, the metabolic toxins, you need, in Ayurvedic perspective, you need some of the herbs which are correcting the ama from your gut. That is very, very important. So before the treating inflammation, especially the pythic inflammation, pitta imbalance inflammation inside the gut, first we have to remove the ama from there. For ama removing, either way you can use some of the digestive and carminative things to remove ama from the gut. Then we can treat for the after removing ama, we can treat for the pythic imbalance directly. So simply we can say that for the pitta imbalance, alleviating stuff are milk. Simply the pitta imbalancing, pitta pacifying stuff is milk. but milk is not used in ama state. Because the every inflammation in the first stage is there is ama is there. The metabolic toxins is there. So first, if we are using in that stage, the milk consumption it's very dangerous, because once ama is there, the toxins is there, we are using milk, that will make the problems worse.
Okay.
So first, every inflammation we should remove the ama from there. Then we can flourish the microorganism there. Then we can use the pitta pacifying foods, especially the fruit having the cold potency are good for the pitta. And milk is the cow's milk is pitta pacifying, and also the spices having the cold potency also alleviating pitta. These kind of stuffs these will balance the pitta energy inside the body. But before on the stage of inflammation, first we don't use this. First we have to correct the ama there. Then after the correcting ama, in the second stage we can directly use milk for the flourishing the gut.
Okay. And can you give us just a few examples for the spices and for the fruits? Just few for the listeners.
For
pitta.
For pitta, okay. For pitta we can use the fruits. Resins, resins, dried one, or the what we grapes having sweet quality, not the sour quality. Sour one always increase pitta, but sweet quality always alleviate pitta, pacifies pitta. So, and also the dried resins always alleviating pitta. The melons, watermelon and muskmelon, all type of melons are pitta specifying food. It's a very good fruit for the pitta, and also the pomegranate, the fruits in pomegranate also pitta alleviating, and dates, it's not only the pitta, it's also alleviating vata.
Okay.
And also the milk, I already told you, the milk is good for pitta, and the jaggery also very good for pitta. Jaggery is a very good probiotic that you can use in pitta inflammation. Not the fermented foods. Jaggery is a natural jaggery, palm jaggery is a very good probiotic you can use in fermented food. You can use instead of fermented food. But because in a fermented foods, that it will vitiate the condition.
Yeah, and it's too sour.
Sour. Yes. All soury things, vitiate pitta. That's why, we deny, we are not recommending, the fermented, the probiotics. All fermented foods are soury in taste. All sours, will vitiate pitta.
And what about coconut? I learned that coconut is also good for pitta.
Yes, coconut milk is very good for pitta, but, provide with, I already told, not in the first stage.
Okay.
The first stage is it's in ama. In ama stage, always use the light laghu. Laghu means light, light and easily digestible diet.
Okay. And the best would be a panchakarma, right?
Yes, yes. Before the panchakarma, you should be correct the ama. First, you have to take some of the herbs which is digestive and carminative and eliminating ama. And panchakarma is one of the method. After the digestive and carminative therapy, you can use the panchakarma to eliminate the toxin from the body. Then correct the acne, correct the digestive fire. Then you can use the flourish the gut with some pitta pacifying food and diets.
Yeah.
You can manage the balance the pitta.
Yes, and a good food for correcting ama is getting out of the body. Is it khichdi?
Khichdi is in a diet wise, in a food wise, khichdi is the best medicine, best diet, best food.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of other Ayurvedic preparation to correct the ama in the stage of inflammation. The first stage of inflammation, that is ama stage of inflammation. One thing you should be noted, the person having pitta imbalance, the first stage of inflammation, it is very, very harmful to use all the substance which containing oily in nature. It's very much important. In AMA stage, we should not use oil. So all the oil therapies are contraindicated in the first stage of inflammation. In Ayurveda, it's very evident. The first stage of inflammation, there should be the markers of inflammatory markers like ESR, erythrocyte sedimentation rate in blood reports, and CRP, like inflammatory markers. So if we use the oil substance, like the ghee and oil, in too much oil in food, and the cheese and whatever the oily substance, oily food we are using in the first stage of inflammation, the inflammation will be worse.
Okay, yeah.
So it's oil and all type of oil foods, oil medicine contraindicated in the first stage of inflammation, first stage of pitta imbalance. Okay, after correcting the ama, once your digestive capacity is okay, digestive fire is okay, then you can use these kind of things, the oily things, in a very balanced way to correct the pitta imbalance. One of the important the food to correct the pitta is ghee. For vata it's oil, sesame oil, and for pitta it's the most important pacifying food is ghee, and for kapha is it's honey like a substance, or fasting. These are important. So for pitta, ghee is one of the important substance to pacify the pitta, but not in the first stage of inflammation. Yes. Because if you use in the first stage of inflammation, it will make more and more worse.
Yeah, and afterward maybe it depends about your own dosha. For example, when I have a little bit of pitta imbalance, or my CRP would be higher, but I'm a more vata type. For me, it's afterwards easier to get more oil into my diet.
Yes,
because you're a pitta person, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
But once your ama is completely gone, and you have a sufficient how to you can recognize your ama is gone. You will get the inflammation will be low, the inflammatory markers will be low, and you will get your digestive fire. You will feel hungry.
Okay.
You feel hungry, and your all the symptoms related with the pain will go. Inflammation along with the inflammation, then that my gut is okay, my inflammation is less. Now you can slowly use the hard digesting guru, like a substance, like it's a heavy substance.
Okay.
Like oil. Yeah. And ghee and substance.
Yeah. And now I'm sure there are a lot of listeners who say, oh my God, how can I recognize my ama? You already said the CRP is high, but there are a lot of people where the blood tests are really good, and they have the medical doctors here in Germany, they don't find the cause, but they have still the pain and still like a silent inflammation in the gut. Is this also okay? Be really careful, or can we do directly something with the diet, for example?
Yes, so the very important question. So now, in the olden days, in the old age, it's not, blood test is not there. Okay, so how to identify the ama itself? So in classical Ayurveda, there are a lot of symptoms have said for identifying ama. One of the important symptoms is the obstruction of channels inside the channels. That may be obstruction of the elimination. Some may have a constipation, some may have the loose motion. All are the symptoms of ama.
Okay. So,
and also the person feels always dizzy and lazy. That's also a symptom of ama. And the one of the another important sign is the person doesn't feel any appetite. That's also an important, very important sign of ama. So almost all the symptoms related with the gut, and also the inflammations and the inflammatory markers on high, and that's we can take into another level. But the classical symptoms says that loss of appetite, feeling lethargy, feeling tired, fatigue, and the pain and the nature of like pain, like symptoms will be more, and the loss of taste. We don't have any taste. We don't have any 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 urge to eat anything. These kind of symptoms are related with ama.
Okay.
So this way we can at that time we should only take food and khichdi like substance without any oil.
Okay.
Without ghee and anything. Okay, we can take it and slowly improve the appetite and slowly eliminate should be the gut digestion, and its elimination should be in the right way, corrected by these these kind of diets. Then slowly, when once it is corrected, how do you know that once it is corrected? You will feel appetite, you will feel lightness of the body. In ama stage, you will feel heaviness of the body. Every time you feel heavy, and you every time you want to sleep. So in that time, devoid of ama stage, what do you feel? You feel lightness. You feel energetic. You feel good appetite. You feel have the tendency to eat something. So these are the the symptoms of ama and symptoms of devoid of ama. So these symptoms are very, very important in clinical ways.
Yeah, thank you for your explanation. I think there are a lot of people out there because also of the stress that they have a lot of ama, right? So do you see in Ayurveda also we talked about chronic fatigue syndrome, for example, and we have in our medical system no diagnosis for the psychic disorders. But in Ayurveda you would say, okay, also the psychic disorders are related to ama in the body.
No. Not only the psychic, almost all the diseases are psychosomatic, almost. But the psychic, some of the disease, the psychic involvement is less. But in some disease it is more evident.
Okay.
But almost all the diseases are psychosomatic, both involvement of mind and body.
Yeah.
So this is very clear. Even the mental disorders, we are having ama issues. So ama is a very important marker before treating any disease in Ayurvedic way. So in Ayurveda says almost all the diseases, 99% of diseases are due to ama, because this is Ayurveda also said that one of the prime cause of diseases is improper diet and improper regimen. So
like the routines.
Yes, and we are using our food style, food habits are little complicated after in this modern era. It's very complicated. We are using fast food and a lot of food which are heavy for our stomach, and we are eating in improper time. So these are the reason we get the accumulation of ama inside the body. So because usually we follow this kind of diet habits, this kind of lifestyle, every person there is a chance to get ama inside, even though it is precipitated, even though it is not precipitated as symptoms or disease. Everyone should have this kind of ama in more or less, some having less level, some having more level. If it is a very large quantity, and it will precipitate as symptoms or disease.
And what about the people with eating disorders who have fear for eating some foods? They eat really healthy, like we call it orthorexia. Do you know this? They can't just eat healthy foods, and they are afraid of the fast food stuff. Can they creating ama because just of the fear in the body?
So that's another thing. One should know about the what is good for health, what is not good for health. First, we should have a knowledge about this. What is good, what is not good for our health. After that, if we understand that this is good for my life, this is bad for my life. So one of the important aim of Ayurveda is that Ayurveda says it's a knowledge regarding whatever good and whatever not good. What is the in which quantity we should take inside, what is good inside the body. Because even though if one thing is good for me, if it is using in a very large quantity, it is not good for the health.
Yeah.
So there should be a quantity.
So
the balance.
Yeah.
These all are mentioned in Ayurvedic science. What is good, what is not good, what should be, what quantity should I take these? These things are mentioned in Ayurvedic classics. In these are the area of Ayurveda.
Yeah.
So your question is that some having the conscious, some having the health conscious, but they eat lot. Some is not eating too much. Some is health conscious wise eating the good food. Then that person having less amount of ama in the body.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Well,
Okay.
so thank you so much
Thank you.
for your explanation. And we talked about the milk and the milk products, and
Yes,
you
yes.
for pizza regulating is cow milk, but not in the state of inflammation or when their ama is there. And for me it was okay, maybe this is why we in the Western Europe we do a lot about the vegan stuff and milk is dangerous because we're not aware about the Ayurvedic like the ama, but maybe our intuition say okay, be careful with the milk. I don't know if this is correct, it's just my feeling at the moment. What do you think is your opinion about we are going in the modern Ayurveda really oftentimes vegan?
So I already told that most of the people living here having the condition of ama in more having some having less quantity, some having more quantity. So if they are eating if they are avoiding this kind of hard digesting foods, that is good for their health. That's why someone is following vegan diet, they feel light and they feel good.
Yeah.
But this is not the right, this is not the complete view.
Yeah.
The complete view is once it is ama is corrected, the person who is having the strong digestive capacity, the person who is doing a lot of exercise. Exercise is the best important method to correct the ama. Because even though if we are eating some wrong foods, we are doing as exercise, then the calories will burn, and no ama inside the body, no accumulation of waste inside the body, because everything we are doing our hard vigorous exercise and everything burn out.
Yeah. This was me.
Yes. So it's not the complete view. Why I said because the person having strong digestive capacity need not follow the vegan diet. They can use the having the foods having guru quality, heavy quality like milk. They can use the dairy product. They can use ghee like a substance. No problem, because usually in winter time we have a strong usually for healthy person we have strong strong digestive power. Our appetite will be little bit more comparing to the summer season. So in that time the normal diet for a normal healthy person, we can use some ghee like a substance, some dairy products, some milk. It's okay.
Okay. And what do you think about ahimsa because of meat and fish and so on and eggs? What is your opinion on the Ayurvedic view?
Yes, the concept of ahimsa came from the complete ahimsa, non-violence and non-killing, completely came from the Buddhist tradition. In the classical Ayurveda, in the Charaka Samhita, like a Susruta Samhita, there are a lot of preparations from animal origin, like a lot of treatments containing mamsarasa, that medicated soup.
Yeah, I
from
take
the
it after my childbirth.
Yes, from the flesh.
Bone broth.
There are a lot of the Ayurveda has different eras. The era before the Buddhist era, there are a lot of these kind of stuffs are using, like a mamsarasa, the medicated soups, and the treatment with the flesh and treatment with the some animal stuffs. And there are a lot of Ayurvedic description in the Ayurvedic classics using these kind of things. So after the Buddhist era, Buddhist ideology, strongly recommend ahimsa, not killing any, non-violence to any living beings. So they purposefully avoid these kind of things. They only took the steps which are suitable for their ideology. So that's why in later periods in Ashtanga Hridaya, there are a lot of the elements like this, the Deshavida Paps, one of the 10 sins, it is included, the ahimsa and everything. And in Ashtanga Hridaya says that Atmavat Sadadam Pashyed Kida Pipilikam. There is the quotings in Ashtanga Hridaya, its meaning, we should see like ourselves, like yourself, to the other living beings. Even though it is a kida and pipilika, even though it's a small microorganism, you should see like you, because it's the same life you are having on that microorganism also. So it's a quoting and it's a complete compassion towards all living beings. That kind of verses are included in Ashtanga Hridaya. So I think it's from the Buddhist era. The some of the sages strongly believe on non-violence and non-ahimsa.
Yeah. And do you think, your own opinion, when you are believing strongly in something or it's your ideology, do you think you are more healthy when you follow this ideology, or do you think that? Yeah. But you believe and your thoughts, it's.
Yes. Okay. Our ideology becomes our thoughts.
Yeah.
Because our thoughts have very positive impacts on our body. Everything related.
Yeah.
Because I already said that all the diseases affecting the body have an impact on mind.
Yeah.
And all the diseases affecting the mind also have the impact on body.
Yeah.
This Ayurveda strongly advocate.
Yeah.
So everything related. So that's why I said almost all the diseases are psychosomatic.
Yeah, this is why I love Ayurveda.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. And just a few last questions from the listeners or my followers. One for myself is really interesting because I'm a mother now, and maybe first I ask my question and then the question of the follower. What do you think about kids' intuition? Because, for example, my daughter, for a few weeks she loved broccoli, and now she don't want broccoli, or she loved avocado, and then or yogurt, and then a few days after she had a cold, a cough, and she at the morning before I don't thought about it, but I know from my Ayurvedic wisdom, don't eat yogurt when you have when there's kapha related stuff.
Yes.
But I don't think about it. I just do the breakfast like every morning, and then I do yogurt on her porridge, and then she don't eat the porridge at all. And I said, oh, you are so schlau. You don't eat the yogurt because you have cough. And, I don't know. Do you think there is something about the kids' intuition? There's something right, or can we follow the kids' intuition?
Yes. See, our body has have a self-healing capacity. When we get disease, some of the steps which cause imbalance and more imbalance in our body, naturally we have aversion to that steps. That's why the kid doesn't want to yogurt again, because she's having the chest infection or the kapha related, shlime related disease. Then naturally he or she will feel an aversion to the stuffs, the foods which is increasing that dosha. It's quite natural. It's quite natural. And also one more important thing regarding the baby and mother, and the foods and drinks which is using the mother has an impact on the baby also, because the baby drinks the mother's milk. It should have an impact on, Ayurveda advocate that it should have an impact on the baby's health also. So mother should there is a custom in India, especially the Ayurvedic practitioners, for they give some of the medicines to to purify the breast milk, because the almost all the child disease, the baby, especially for the nursing baby, the reason for the child disease is the vitiation of breast milk. So there is a custom to cleanse the breast milk by giving some of the oral medicine to the mother, and cleanse purify the breast milk, so that the baby gets more and more immunity by drinking that breast milk.
And which herbs are this, or which medicine?
There are, there is in classical Ayurveda, there is the 10 herbs are, told by Stanya Shodhana Ganam, that is purifying the breast milk. The 10 Kreuter herbs, 10 herbs are told in the classical Ayurveda. That's are some of the companies, some of the Ayurvedic companies, they are making that in the powder form, and that you can use in hot water in morning and evening before the food, for 5 days, for 6 days, or 1 week, to cleanse the breast milk.
Okay, before, after giving birth, or when is the best, or is it not for every mother?
Oh yeah, yes. After after the Sudika Paricharya, that means the in a postnatal care, because in Ayurveda there are a lot of therapies and a lot of internal and external therapies after the birth for mother. Yeah. After this 3 months you can use this, because 3 months you can use these kind of things that to purify, cleanse the breast milk. That is very important. Okay. Because for a baby, there are the most common disease for a nursing baby, for a breastfeeding baby. It's mainly related. One of the things mainly related with the gut. The other thing is related with the upper respiratory system, like wheezing and the bronchial asthma or dyspnea, like such things, and sometimes the running nose and these kind of things. The other thing is skin disease. These 3 things are the most common conditions for a nursing, for a breastfeeding baby in the first 1 year, 1 or 2 years. Yeah. So in these conditions, if you want more and more immunity to your baby, you should do the cleanse your breast milk, because in the first 6 months the breast milk is the sole food for the baby. Yeah. So that's that's all.
Yeah. And what do you think? How can I protect the intuition of a baby, for example?
Yeah.
Because maybe they go to the kindergarten or something else, and then they see, okay, nobody eats the green stuff, and so I didn't eat the green stuff too. Well, how can I protect her intuition, for example?
You can protect her intuition. There are a lot of first thing is you should give the wholesome diets, wholesome food and drinks to a baby. For example, you already told me that the baby is having some chest congestion or kapha related symptoms. She will not eat the yogurt like substance. So that's a knowledge, that's a perfect knowledge, because in kapha related condition, chest congestion or bronchial dyspnea, breathing difficulty, running nose and rhinitis, this kind of problem, yogurt is contraindicated. So in that time, the food and drinks which is digestive, which is improving the appetite, and which is easily digestible, is recommended. In this condition, the mamsarasa can be given, or yusha, like vegetable soups are given. Soups are very good in this condition. So you should know about the disease. You should know about the its aggravating causes, and please avoid the aggravating cause. That's also a part of treatment. That's why Ayurveda says nidana parivarjana is chikitsa. We are avoiding the aggravating factors, triggering factors. It's also a part of treatment.
Okay, yeah. And I try to choose, let her choose a lot of stuff. So
Yes,
I
yes,
say,
yes.
okay, do you want this? No, okay, do you want this? I try to give her a big
Yes.
range so she can choose.
Yes,
I
yes.
hope this is the
Yes,
good way.
this is the good way. This is the
I
good
hope
way.
so.
Yes, yes.
And just this, I think the question from...
Moreover, you should give,
Yeah.
not to baby to choose. Sometimes baby will take the some of
sugar
the
stuff, for example.
yes,
Yeah,
some
I
of the
think-
harmful
no.
substance. If she takes the harmful substance, you should deny it.
Yeah. Not just
Give the wholesome food.
Yeah.
Give the patyahara,
Yeah.
which is suitable for her condition.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know more about her health conditions.
Oh, yeah.
You should give
Okay.
whatever wholesome for the baby.
Yeah.
That should be given.
Okay.
Okay.
So just offer the wholesome, the right stuff
Yes, yes,
for her
yes, right.
condition. Okay. Yeah. And I think the question of the follower is already answered, because she asked from which age, or at which age you also treat children, but you also treat babies as Ayurvedic medical doctor, right?
In classical Ayurveda, we treat the children from the time of birth. From the time of birth itself, we are treating children.
Yeah.
I already told you that in
Yeah.
the time of birth, we are not directly give them, medicine. Sometimes we are giving medicines in very trace amount, very little amount, and we mainly focus on mother. We are giving medicine and the wholesome diet to the mother, and because after 1 hour she should feed the baby, so that the effects of medicine will get the baby, and that in that method we treat the baby who is only in the stage of breastfeeding.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay.
And just a last question from a follower. She would like to know about the Ayurvedic view of celiac disease and endometriosis. Maybe you can say something about this in a few words, or about the imbalance. I think endometriosis is also the pitta imbalance, right? Inflammation. Maybe first the endometriosis and then the celiac disease.
And celiac disease is always related with the gut, and it's related with the movements also. So there should be some pitta inflammation. Pitta is already there, and also vata is there. So celiac disease, the nature of vitiation of energies is vata pitta in nature. There is a vata pitta vitiation. So whatever the food and drinks which aggravate vata and pitta, that is not good in celiac disease.
And do you think that because in Germany it's an autoimmune condition,
yes.
And we have to eat the whole life gluten-free, is it also your view?
Yeah. So why it is not good in celiac disease, like in autoimmune condition, avoid of gluten, because gluten is a substance which is most probably causing ama, because it's very hard to digest. Some of the gut will not digest it properly, so there is a chance of getting ama is more and more there. That's why those gut having the low capacity to digest the gluten should avoid that.
Okay. So not only the celiac disease, also other
other autoimmune disease also. Okay. It's not good.
And what about the endometriosis?
Endometriosis is it's a gynecological condition. In classical Ayurveda there is a disease called Vatiki. It's a name of disease, Vatiki. This disease having the almost symptoms of endometriosis.
Okay.
So there is a difficulty in passing the menstrual blood, because at that time the person feels more pain, more excruciating pain over the belly, over the lower abdomen. So these all symptoms can be related with Vatiki. So in our classical Ayurveda there are very detailed elaboration of management of this Vatiki disease. And this we can do in endometriosis, and we have a very good positive feedback on the treatment.
Okay, it's also correlated with getting ama out of the body, right?
No. This is related with Vatiki means the doshic vitiation mainly in this endometriosis, vata and kapha.
Okay.
Vata and kapha. More on vata level. So,
because of the pain. Right?
Yes. And also the area also related with the apana area. Apana area is the perineal area. Yeah. The vata situated there is the apana vayu. Apana vayu is one of the 5 divisions of vata. It's important vata for controlling the functions of menstruation, micturition, defecation, these kind of functions. Yeah. So we should correct the apana vayu. Yeah. Apana vayu. So
sesame seeds.
Whatever sesame seeds are also good. Whatever the foods and drinks which are giving the correcting of apana vayu is important using this kind of endometriosis. Especially the food like til oil. Til oil means sesame oil, which is good in using the endometriosis. We can have it 1 spoon of sesame oil in early morning. That is good for the endometriosis. And also the food and drinks which is vata specifying, vata pacifying, vata alleviating, vata balancing, which is helpful in endometriosis.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking your time. Is there something you want to say to the listeners or the Ayurvedis out there?
Yeah. You should learn the philosophy behind the Ayurveda. It is based. It is the nutshell of that philosophy is the Tridoshas and Pancha Mahabhutas. And you should read before you going these steps. Then you should have an idea of what I discussed here with you. Then only you understand. Then only understand the concept and how we looks in holistic way treating the disease and how we understand the disease in a holistic way. Then only you understand. So you should read about Tridosha and Panchamahabhuta and what is your body in Tridoshic concept and which dosha you have, which energy you have more, and what are the symptoms if some energy is more, some dosha is more in your body. Then only you can understand, then only you can understand what I discussed here.
Yeah, but before I explained a lot in the podcast about the doshas, and so I'm sure a lot of people understand you.
Oh, that's cool.
And
cool.
Otherwise,
that's
they
great.
can visit you here, right, for a consultation.
Yeah, sure.
Get an appointment.
And please, tell me about our location and everything. And
yes, I will.
And please give me the contacts. And those who interested in this kind of subject and those who want to consult here, and they are welcome.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Schön, dass du heute in das Interview reingehört hast. Ich hoffe, du konntest dir ganz viel mitnehmen. Du hast einiges verstanden. Die Qualität war hoffentlich gut genug. Es war etwas schwierig vor Ort, das alles gut darzustellen in der begrenzten Zeit, die wir zur Verfügung hatten zwischen Behandlungen und Konsultationen. Ich selbst durfte auch eine Pulsmessung und eine Konstitutionsanalyse nochmal von ihm erhalten, auch mein Mann. Für ihn war das ganz spannend. Und wir konnten uns sehr viel mitnehmen. Die Zeit im Ayurveda Tulsi Hotel in Gurk war sehr angenehm. Es ist ein total freundliches Klima dort, sehr familienfreundlich und die Anwendungen waren wirklich super gut. Der Ayurveda wird dort authentisch gelebt und gelehrt. Das hat mir sehr gut gefallen, weil es mich an die Indienreise von mir und meine eigene Ayurveda-Ausbildung sehr erinnert hat. Und ohne viel Schnickschnack. Es ist natürlich auch kein super großes Wellness-Hotel, aber es gibt trotzdem 2 Saunen, beziehungsweise eine Sauna und ein Kräuterlankonium. Das war sehr angenehm zwischen den Behandlungen. Der Ort ist sehr ruhig, es war auch gar nicht viel los und man konnte sich richtig gut zurückziehen, für sich selbst sein. Ich kann mir das auch als guten Ort für Retreats vorstellen. Und was auch total super war das Essen. Es war einfach herrlich, himmlisch. Es hat so gut schon bei der Ankunft gerochen. Und ja, wir riechen jetzt, wo ich das Outro noch aufnehme, noch ein bisschen nach ayurvedischen Kräutern, weil man ja auch die vielen Gewürze, die man innerlich einnimmt, auch so ein bisschen dann noch ausduftet. Vielleicht ist dir das schon mal aufgefallen, vor allem bei Boxhornklee. Und aber mich erinnert es gerade noch sehr an unsere Zeit dort und die letzten Tage waren wirklich erholsam und haben gut getan. Und falls du für dich eine Location suchst für eine kleine Ayurveda-Auszeit, schau dir doch gerne mal das Angebot an. Hier nochmal so ein klein bisschen Werbung. Es war auch eine Kooperation. Das heißt, wir wurden eingeladen von dort und ich durfte es kennenlernen und ich war wirklich positiv überrascht und es war wirklich sehr angenehm. Ja, beim Hören habe ich auch die eine oder andere Inspiration gerade nochmal bekommen, dass ich eventuell auch nochmal eine Folge zum Ayurveda und Stillen mache, falls dich das interessiert, falls du gerade Mama bist. Ich versuche dir auch mehr Einblicke noch zu geben in die Selbstständigkeit als Mama. Das interessiert, glaube ich, auch ganz viele. Da haben mich einige Nachrichten erreicht. Und ansonsten hat mich einfach jetzt das Sprechen mit Dr. Siddik nochmal so gut bestärkt und erinnert an diese ganzen wundervollen Kräuter, Gewürze, die alle im Schrank stehen, die auch viel Einzug finden dürfen. Ich habe mich sehr viel mit der Psychologie des Menschen und mit der Ernährungspsychologie im Rahmen meines Studiums beschäftigt oder beschäftige mich gerade immer noch, das läuft auch noch. Habe ja den Heilpraktiker gemacht, war in der Ausbildung, in der IPT-Ausbildung an der Uni Freiburg zum Psychotherapeutischen nochmal. Also ich war sehr in diesem Wissenschaftlichen und diese kleine Ayurveda-Auszeit hat mich jetzt nochmal so erinnert an die ganz wertvollen Ayurveda-Dinge, die ja teilweise schon im Schrank stehen oder auch in meinem Wissenskoffer versteckt sind. Und da haben wir jetzt gerade als Familien wieder das ein oder andere mehr integriert von Kräutern und Gewürzen in der Küche. Mein Mann nimmt jetzt immer Shivana Prash und den einen oder anderen Tee, den wir nochmal irgendwie bewusster zubereiten, einfach weil wir das Ayurveda-Wissen gerade dort nochmal so aufsaugen konnten. Genau, ich hoffe, du hast hier so ein bisschen im Podcast jetzt auch wieder Lust und Motivation gekriegt, Ayurveda für dich weiter zu intensivieren, vielleicht aber auch einfach hier dich nur auf die nächste Podcast-Folge zu freuen. Da weiß ich gerade das Thema gar nicht, aber es wird hoffentlich spannend auch für dich sein. Und wenn du hier weiterhin dabei bist, freut mich das sehr. Lass doch gerne mal wieder eine Rezension da. Das wird mir total helfen, jetzt gerade auch nach der Elternzeit, wo alles ein bisschen ruhiger war, wieder mehr alles zum Laufen zu bringen. Es ist ja weiter gelaufen, aber jetzt aktuell fließt wieder mehr Energie in die Natur und wenn du mich dabei unterstützt, bin ich dir sehr, sehr, sehr dankbar. Bis zur nächsten Folge. Lass es dir richtig gut gehen und hör auf dein Bauchgefühl. Deine Lena.